Look around any gym on a Monday, and you'll see the same scene playing out everywhere. Guys grinding through set after set on the bench press, week after week, month after month, and still walking out looking exactly the same as when they started. Flat chest, no shape, no upper shelf, just effort with no real return. That used to be the story for a lot of people who trained hard but trained without a real plan. The problem was never the effort. It was the strategy. Building a chest that actually looks powerful requires understanding how the chest works, the different sections, the angles, the way fibers respond, and then targeting it with precision instead of just throwing volume at it and hoping something sticks. That's exactly what this workout is built around. 5 exercises, not 20, not a random collection of machines pulled from social media. 5 movements chosen deliberately, ordered with intention, and backed by how your chest actually grows. Together, they hit every section: the base, the upper shelf, the lower drop, and the finishing detail, targeting both types of muscle fibers along the way. The sequence also matters more than most people realize. The exercises are arranged so you attack the most stubborn fibers first when you're fresh and finish with precision movements when fatigue has already set in. Follow it as written, execute it with focus, and your chest development will start moving in a direction it probably hasn't moved in a long time. Exercise 1. Flat dumbbell bench press. When most people think about chest training, the flat bench press comes to mind first. The problem is that most people load up a barbell, press with their ego instead of their chest, and then wonder why their chest still looks flat after years of training. Sore shoulders, no results, and the root cause is almost always the same. The barbell locks your hands in a fixed position, limits your range of motion, and lets your stronger side quietly take over without you noticing. The dumbbell version solves all of that. With dumbbells, your arms move freely and naturally. At the bottom of the movement, you can lower them deeper than a barbell ever allows, stretching the chest fibers fully, creating the kind of tension that actually triggers growth. At the top, you can bring the dumbbells closer together and squeeze your pecs hard in a way the barbell simply doesn't allow. That combination of full stretch and full contraction is what separates a movement that builds real size from one that just moves weight. Dumbbells also eliminate the imbalance problem. Everyone has a dominant side, and with a barbell, that side does more work without you ever realizing it. That's why so many people develop asymmetrical chests even after years of training. Dumbbells force each side to carry its own load independently, with no way to compensate. Execution is where most people leave results on the table. The lowering phase, the slow part going down, is where a massive amount of muscle fiber gets recruited. Rushing through it throws away free growth. Lower the dumbbells under control. Feel the stretch in your chest at the bottom. Pause for a split second, then press back up with intention. Don't slam the weights together at the top. Leaving a small gap keeps constant tension on the chest throughout the entire rep. Shoulder position changes everything here. Most people press with their shoulders rolling forward, which immediately shifts the load onto the delts and triceps. Instead, pull your shoulder blades back and pin them against the bench. Keep them locked there for every single rep. That one adjustment opens the chest up and puts it in the exact position to do the work it's supposed to do. This exercise builds the central foundation, the solid density across the middle of your chest that everything else gets built on top of. Without it, the upper chest looks weak and the lower chest has no depth. But once this base is in place, every exercise that follows adds shape and detail to the frame you've just established. If this approach to training is already making sense to you, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. It helps more people find content like this instead of spinning their wheels for years doing the wrong things. The flat press builds the foundation, but what comes next is what most guys are completely skipping, and it's the reason their chest will never look finished. Exercise 2. High pulley crossover. Pressing movements alone will never give you a complete chest. That's not an opinion, it's just how the chest works. To fully develop the lower portion of the pecs and create that sharp, defined separation underneath the chest, you need a pulling and squeezing pattern called adduction. And that's exactly what the high pulley crossover delivers. Think of presses as laying down the raw material, the mass, the density, the overall size. The high pulley crossover is what shapes that material into something that actually looks impressive. When you pull the cables down and across your body, you're squeezing every fiber in the lower chest through a range of motion that no pressing exercise can replicate. That carved line underneath a well-developed chest doesn't come from heavier benching, it comes from movements like this. Execution details make a significant difference here. Start with a staggered stance, one foot slightly forward, and lean your torso gently into the movement. That lean takes the emphasis away from the shoulders and locks it onto the chest. Grab the handles with a soft bend in your elbows, not straight, not exaggerated, and pull the cables down in a wide arc, bringing your hands toward your waist. At the end of the movement, squeeze your chest as hard as you can, pause for a full second, then resist on the way back. That controlled return is where most people give up on growth without knowing it. Letting the weight snap back bypasses half the work. Resist the pull the entire way, as if your chest is fighting to stay contracted even as the weight tries to pull your arms back open. That constant tension is what floods the lower fibers with stimulus and makes them grow. The most common mistake is going too heavy. Loading up the cable stack turns this into a shoulder and arm movement, which is the opposite of the goal. Choose a weight where you can genuinely feel the chest pulling, stretching, and contracting through the full range. The burn you feel in the lower pecs when you're doing this right is unmistakable. This exercise targets the endurance and definition fibers, so higher reps and more time under tension is the right approach here to gear not maximum load. Exercise 3. Incline dumbbell bench press. The upper chest is the most commonly underdeveloped part of the chest, and also the one that changes your appearance the most dramatically when it's actually trained properly. A well-developed upper chest creates that thick, shelf-like look that fills out a t-shirt and completely transforms how your torso is perceived. Without it, even a decent lower and middle chest still leaves the physique looking unfinished. The incline dumbbell press is the most effective tool for targeting this area. The barbell version works, but it locks your hands into a fixed path and limits how precisely you can target the upper fibers. With dumbbells, you have the freedom to adjust your angle, stretch deeper at the bottom, and squeeze harder at the top, giving you surgical accuracy in an area that responds to precise targeting. The bench angle is critical. Set it between 30 and 45 degrees. Any steeper than that, and the movement starts working your shoulders more than your chest, which defeats the purpose entirely. Lower the dumbbells with control, feeling a real stretch across the upper chest. Press back up and, this is the detail most people miss, bring the dumbbells slightly toward each other at the top while squeezing the pecs together. That extra inward squeeze at the peak is what activates the upper chest fibers most effectively. Keep your elbows at roughly 45 degrees to your torso throughout the movement. Flaring them too wide is one of the most common form errors on this exercise, and it shifts stress directly onto the shoulder joint. Slow down the lowering phase, feel the chest stretch, and drive up with the chest leading, not the arms, not the shoulders, the chest. One overlooked advantage of dumbbells on this exercise: if you reach failure, you can simply lower them to the sides safely. That means you can train closer to your real limit without needing a spotter or risking getting stuck under a bar. More intensity done safely leads to more growth over time. This exercise primarily works the fast twitch fibers, the ones responsible for strength and size, so heavier loads and lower rep ranges are where it performs best. The upper shelf it builds is non-negotiable for a complete physique. And the next exercise picks up exactly where this one leaves off. Exercise 4, Low pulley crossover. After building that upper shelf with the incline press, the low pulley crossover adds the finishing detail to it, carving separation and dimension into the upper chest in a way that pressing alone can never achieve. This is the movement that gives the collarbone area that sharp, squared, athletic look and makes the chest appear truly three-dimensional when you're standing relaxed. By setting the pulleys at roughly knee height and pulling upward and inward, you're directly targeting the upper chest fibers through an arc of motion that presses completely miss. The key is in the squeeze at the top of the movement, bringing your arms together like you're wrapping them around something large, and then holding that contraction. That inward pull recruits fibers across the entire upper chest in a way that's almost impossible to feel during any pressing variation. Stance and technique matter here. Take a stable position with one foot slightly forward. Lean your torso just slightly forward, and keep a soft bend in your elbows throughout the entire movement, never fully straight. Pull the handles up in a wide arc until your hands nearly meet in front of your chest. Squeeze hard at that point, hold for a second, then resist the weight on the way back down, controlling the return the entire time. The negative phase, the part where you're fighting the pull and returning to the start, is just as important as the squeeze. That resistance on the way back deepens the stimulus and forces real adaptation. The mistake most people make is thinking of this as an arm movement. The moment you start pulling with your shoulders or biceps instead of initiating from your chest, you've lost the exercise. Focus stays on the pecs from the first rep to the last. Because this movement primarily works the endurance fibers of the upper chest, higher reps and a controlled tempo are more effective than chasing heavy weights. The pump from this exercise, combined with the incline press you did earlier, creates a double stimulus on the upper chest from two completely different angles. That combination is what makes the workout function as a complete system rather than just a random collection of exercises. Exercise 5, pec deck machine. By this point in the workout, your chest has already been hit from every angle. The stabilizing muscles are tired, your pressing powers largely spent, and free weights would introduce too much instability to safely drive maximum intensity. That's exactly why the pec deck machine is the right choice to finish. The machine removes the instability factor entirely. Your back is locked against the pad, the path is fixed, and all of your focus, every ounce of it, goes directly into contracting your chest. No energy wasted on balance, no form breakdown from fatigue, just pure isolated chest work at the moment when your muscles are most primed to respond to it. The movement itself is simple. Sit with the handles at mid-chest height, back firmly against the pad, and bring your arms together in front of you with a slight bend at the elbows. The mental cue that makes this movement click for most people is imagining you're trying to squeeze something between your pecs at the top of the movement. That image alone, really committing to it, changes how much the chest fires during the contraction. Hold that peak squeeze for 1 to 2 full seconds before returning. What makes the pec deck particularly effective as a finisher is the constant tension it provides. With free weights, tension tends to drop at certain points in the range of motion, especially when fatigue sets in. The pec deck maintains resistance from the full stretch at the start all the way through to the peak contraction at the end. That stretch under load in a fully fatigued muscle is one of the most powerful triggers for muscle growth that exists. The biggest mistake people make on this exercise is letting the handles slam together at the front, which actually releases all the tension and turns the movement into a rest. Keep tension continuous. Squeeze at the peak, hold it, and then control the return. Stop before your elbows drift so far back that your shoulders start to feel it. The moment discomfort moves into the shoulder joint, you've gone past your range. Stay within the range where the chest stays engaged throughout. This exercise targets the endurance and definition fibers, which respond best to higher reps and shorter rest periods. By the time you finish your last set, your chest should feel completely done, stretched, pumped, and fully fatigued in every section. That's not just a feeling. That's the signal that your body has the information it needs to grow. 5 exercises, done in the right order, with the right focus, hitting every section and every type of fiber in your chest. The flat dumbbell press builds the base. The high pulley crossover carves the lower chest. The incline dumbbell press constructs the upper shelf. The low pulley crossover adds definition and dimension to the top. And the pec deck finishes it completely. The reason most people struggle with chest development isn't lack of effort, it's lack of structure and precision. They go through the motions, follow whatever's popular, and repeat the same unproductive patterns for years. But training smart, choosing the right movements, executing them correctly, and following a sequence that actually makes sense, changes everything. A few months of consistent, focused work on this exact blueprint, and you'll notice how your shirts fit differently across the chest. You'll see the shapes start to emerge. The upper shelf fills in, the separation appears. And none of that comes from genetics or luck. It comes from choosing the right movements and executing them with intent. What was the idea that made the most sense to you? Drop it in the comments. Always good to know what's landing. If this kind of content makes sense to you, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel.